Let's go fishing. This is part one of a 4-part series where I went fishing each morning while visiting Sandusky, Ohio with my family. Our Airbnb was within walking distance to the Sandusky Bay, and it was also within walking distance to Bayview Center Tackle Shop in Sandusky. The tackle shop hooked it up with 3 rental rods. Each was already rigged up for me. I was also able to get some live night crawlers, and all of the staff was super nice, and the locals taught me even where to cast and where to go. So I was told to cast over in the spot towards the bridge. Apparently there's a deep hole here holding some catfish. It was super windy and the current was pushing a lot, so I wasn't happy with where my line was being taken. So you can see I casted a few times to try to get in the spot they were telling me about. Now I was told I could catch anything here with just night crawlers, so I was excited to get the lines out in the water and see what happened. This rod was set up with a high-low rig with a 3/4 ounce disc weight and 2 Eagle Claw pre-tied snell hooks. Staff at the tackle shop and the locals were not wrong because we had fish on already. Now while it wasn't a big takedown and this fish didn't feel very big, I was excited to get something out of the water. So I just kept reeling and reeling, hoping I could see what I caught. And at this point I knew it was a smaller fish, but it looks like a nice sized white perch. Not bad to get the day started in a new area, especially while fishing early mornings on vacation. So you know me, I casted the rod back out in the same spot. And unlike bass fishing back in Virginia, I just kind of sat on the bank and waited for another bite. And it didn't take too long before we had another bite, fish on. Now you can't see it very well because I was using a cheap camera that I bring on vacations with me, but the takedown was pretty substantial and so was this fight, so I knew I had a bigger fish on. Still unsure of what I caught since they told me I can catch anything with night crawlers here, I kept reeling and reeling to see what I got. And as I got closer to the bank, I realized I had a catfish. While not a huge catfish, this fish definitely put up a fight. And I brought no gear with me on vacation, so I had to buy some fish clippers, as well as some pliers and nail clippers to clip line, but I didn't buy a net, so I had to bank flip this catfish. Again, the angle isn't very good because it's a cheap camera, but at least I was able to capture the fight and then get a quick video of the fish. Looks like a nice little channel cat. Excited to catch this. Second fish of the day and a decent catfish, so I was stoked. But it was time to get this fish back in the water and cast out in the same spot. Thankfully this rock in front of me was the perfect rod holder. And at this point I decided it was a good idea to get the other lines in the water, especially in the same spot. The other lines they pre-rigged were just a simple weight and an Eagle Claw snell hook, but it's always worth getting multiple lines in the water. And it didn't take too long for me to start getting bites in the line that had the high-low rig, so I crouched down so I wouldn't miss any takedowns. But this fish was definitely playing games with me at this point. And unlike the bigger catfish from earlier, I didn't see a big takedown, but I did see the line moving in strange directions, so I figured I'd pick it up and reel. Still unsure of what I had on the line, I was excited to reel it in and find out that it was a smaller catfish. Here's where I finally got a visual on the fish. Another fish on for the first day of fishing in Sandusky. Definitely smaller, but a nice channel cat nonetheless. Stay tuned for part 2.